Okay. You've seen it, maybe you've even said it. I was hit as a child and I turned out fine. But fine isn't the same thing as healthy. Fine isn't the same as thriving. And today we need to stop normalizing what is in reality a cycle of harm. Physical punishment, spanking, slapping, or hitting has been common forms of discipline in families over many generations. But science has spoken clearly. It's not just ineffective, it's dangerous. Whether you plan on raising kids, working with them, or influencing younger siblings, this issue affects all of us. The next generation depends on what we choose to normalize or challenge. I've reviewed research from the American Psychological Association, the Center of Disease Control, and the child behavior specialists to understand the true effects of physical punishment. First, I'll discuss the emotional and psychological harm physical punishment can cause. Then, I'll explain why it's ineffective at teaching discipline. And finally, I'll present safer and more effective alternatives for disciplining. Physical punishment, also known as corporal punishment, causes emotional and psychological harm. For one, increasing the risk of mental health issues. Children who are physically punished are 2.4 times more likely to suffer from depression and 2.6 times more likely to have anxiety. These effects don't disappear with age. They often last well into adulthood. It also damages a child's emotional regulation. Research from CDC shows that children who are physically punished are more likely to have trouble managing anger, frustration, and impulse control. This emotional instability can interfere with school, relationships, and even employment. It can create trauma regardless of it being labeled as a form of discipline. Repeated physical punishment correlates with PTSD-like symptoms, especially paired with verbal abuse, making kids feel confused, unsafe, or unloved and carry that pain into adulthood. What we all need to do is stop excusing abuse just because it's familiar. Physical punishment influences long-term behavior, hurting communication, increasing aggression, and lowering future success. Children who are hit are 50% more likely to use aggression with peers, siblings, and future partners. This creates a cycle where physical control replaces healthy conflict resolution. It damages trust and communication skills severely. Kids raised with fear-based discipline are less likely to open up to authority figures or seek emotional support, and result leading to isolation, rebellion, or bottling emotions instead of expressing them. It also limits future success in almost every category you can imagine. A study from University of New Hampshire found that children subjected to harsh discipline show lower academic achievement and reduced social competence. A study examined 147 children, some who were spanked early in life, to explore brain differences using MRI scans. Research found that spanked children showed heightened brain activity in areas linked to emotional regulation and threat detection. Even in response to non-threatening facial expressions like smile. Once again, this isn't something they grow out of. If we know it doesn't work and leaves long-term damage, then what should we do instead? There are effective and safer alternatives. Positive discipline builds strong behavior without fear. Techniques like timeouts, consistent rules, and natural consequences help children learn cause and effect without violence. So many people make jokes towards the approach of gentle parenting, but again, these methods build responsibility and don't create fear. Clear communication and connection are keys, teaching kids why bad behavior is wrong, helping them name emotions, and modeling calm responses leading to long-term emotional intelligence. This is how we raise children to be respectful and not fearful. These strategies work, and they start with us. As future parents, teachers, or role models, we must choose better tools. What we normalize now becomes the standard later, so we must reject violence in all forms. Physical punishment leads to emotional and mental health problems. It negatively affects future behavior, communication, and success. And there are proven alternatives that work without causing harm. Physical punishment isn't just outdated, it's dangerous, and it's our responsibility to leave it behind. I want you to challenge the idea that hitting is discipline. Speak up when someone jokes about it. Refuse to pass it on to the next generation. And when it's your turn to lead, teach, or raise a child, make sure that you choose guidance over violence.